Good evening, good evening. John's prepared while others are not. Story of my life, the title of my autobiography. John will always be paired by nothing. She's here. She's literally right over there running around doing things that I have no idea what she's doing, as usual. But she looks busy. I give her credit for that. The illusion of busyness is definitely replacing purple lights behind us. Now we're ready to start. Now that is really what we've been waiting for.
How come you didn't plug this in? Oh, you couldn't.
Time. Because that is not my job. See?
Well, normally it plugs in.
Well, normally it could plug into there. If you weren't worried about purple lights going on behind you. Anyway, how's everyone doing? Happy Monday. I didn't even know it was Monday, to be honest with you. I'm still on my my regiment of Valium, which was a fun visit to the doctor today, because on the form you fill out when you go to the doctor, they tell you, what medications are you taking and what's the milligram. The highest milligram for Valium was either 0.5 or 0.1 was the option on the drop-down menu. I'm at 2 milligrams 3 times a day. So my doctor's like, that's a lot. And I said, I'm dying. And she's like, that's a lot. So I said, now, am I allowed to drink caffeine to kind of counteract the Valium, because, or is it going to negate the effects of what it's supposed to be doing, call it stopping the muscles from firing and the nerves from firing and all that other good stuff. And she's like, no, caffeine really shouldn't affect that. So let's get the IV going. Let's keep me pumped. And
that's right.
I'm going to be all right. I got to go ahead to caffeine up as much as I want. And how good it feels. Anyway, Chris is going to say something.
No,
we just have to wait.
I'm behaving. I'm being quiet. I'm not commenting on anything you're saying.
Can't wait to see you guys this weekend.
It's going to be a great weekend. I'm looking forward to it.
Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. We are actually leaving Thursday during the day, so we can get there and hang out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and leave on Sunday. So, yes, we are very much looking forward to wrapping up a lot of last minute things and getting in our car and heading to Gettysburg, which we haven't been, it seems like forever since, even though we were there December with Cody Satori.
That's a long time ago.
It seems like forever. And I am so looking forward to it. Excuse me, even though I'm still going to be taking the medication and I'm still going to be dealing with the other issues that I deal with. I'm still very, very looking forward to seeing everyone who's going to be there. Pam and Steve, Bob and Gino, all of our friends that watch us here, other groups that we know.
Celine and Dan are going to be there on Thursday, and John McGinnis just said he's going to be there.
John McGinnis, Mr. Excitement. I have pictures of Mr. Excitement from previous years past at the Bash, where the guy is just party. You look at the picture and you think that is a party man. He just, if I showed you the picture, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. But yes, be great to hang out with John McGinnis again, because I always have a good time with John McGinnis and we laugh and we make fun of pretty much everyone. And the good thing about the Bash is, the Bash tends to keep the drama out. So I think this year will be a very good year as far as.
The goddamn photo.
John, I'm never going to lose that photo. If you have been to the Bash in years past, you know it's always a good time. Everyone's there for the right reasons.
Yeah.
It supports some great causes. So we will be there doing that and having a good time. And it's good that we're getting there Thursday, because we really get to just go and hang Thursday. I think some other people are coming in early, so we'll be able to hang out with them, have dinner. The only bad thing about me, not that I'm not a drinker. I'm not. I used to smoke weed a lot when I was a kid, and I enjoy an occasional cocktail. When I say cocktail, I mean beer. I don't drink hard liquor. But when we go to Gettysburg, we usually get to enjoy the night air. We listen to the live bands, and I'll have a couple of Corona. But with Valium, I don't think that'll be a good.
I don't think you can unless you.
I think I will be on everybody's TikTok for that weekend, which will not be a good thing.
So Dan said he'll be bringing a bag of drama.
Hey,
I don't know what that means, but and Bob and Gina are going to be there Friday morning.
Yeah, so going to be a great time. Hopefully, we'll see you guys there. Take plenty of pictures. Hang out. We'll be going live throughout the event, the different things that are going on, showing you, the new place, all the new stuff that they're doing, the axe throwing, the bull riding, or Chris calls it the camel ride, because she thinks everything mechanical is a camel for some reason.
No, at the Christmas thing that they had down in Gettysburg, it looked like a camel.
Deb, drinker? No, Deb is not a drinker. As a matter of fact, Deb is. I've never seen her touch a drop.
She's a whiner.
No. A wino.
Whiner.
Don't say that about my friend Deb. How dare you? How dare you? Dare you, Deb? I apologize for that, Deb. My goodness. How many years Deb has supported us? I'll make sure there's a wagon to pull. Yeah,
there you go.
Believe me, I so bad want to. I so bad want to again partake and at least have a Corona or two. But
you can if you
on
stop.
Valium. Oh, no way, man.
If you stop taking that, you can.
I will be drooling, man, drooling. But anyway, I can use Celine's walker. Maybe even one of those little rascals. One of those, maybe I try that out.
The rascals?
Yeah, I almost got hit by a car in Gettysburg on doing a live stream. True story. We were all in Gettysburg. We were crossing the street on the crosswalk, and it's, if you've ever been to Gettysburg, it's a circle downtown, and we were crossing, and this car just wasn't stopping. And I was live streaming us joking around, and I turned as the car was coming at me, and my hand hit the roof of the car as it stopped. That's how close it was to me.
That's pretty close.
I almost filmed my death, which would have been legendary.
And instead of what most people would do, yell and scream at the driver, we all busted out laughing. I think because we were just so relieved that he didn't.
No, I mean, how many people would have been doing like EVP? That would have been legendary. There, that would have been like I would have been on every.
I wouldn't have been doing an EVP.
That would have been cool.
That wouldn't have been my take on it.
That would have been cool for sure.
Yeah, right.
So little did we know. Because,
and you met your doppelganger there.
Yeah, I have a picture of that too.
Hey,
Satori Hawes, what is up? Well, we haven't talked to Satori in forever. Satori, we got to get you guys back on here, man.
That's good, David. He's only 5 minutes out.
When are you and Cody going to come back on here? We got to catch up. We got a lot to talk about, especially with the Hoover event coming up. We're going to talk about the leg. What's going to happen with the leg?
Instead of you light up my life, you light up my leg.
Wow. I'm just going to let that sit there. I'm just going to let it sit there for a minute. Because it is out there in the I'll repeat it again in case you didn't laugh hard enough the first. Instead of you light up my life,
you light up my leg. Yeah.
Listen to that. Yeah.
We talk about the leg.
We talk about the leg. So anyway, here's what I'm going to talk about myself in the third person. I like to do that a lot because it makes me feel good. See, John doesn't say no to anything as far as the paranormal is concerned. And Valium John is starting to learn that he's crazy for not saying no to everything. I literally said yes to 4 or 5 library lectures in October, along with September full of event, October full of event, and part of November.
I'm John Muchacha.
And on top of that, I shouldn't say we, because yes, I am to blame for this. The Centenary University has a summer program where people are staying there. I guess they do coursework or whatever. And again, if you ask me something now for December, I'm going to say, oh yeah, I'll do that. Because it seems like it's 100 years away. So I did that with this. Oh, we're thinking of doing this in July. You think during the week in July, you guys could come up there and you could do for the summer, whatever people? Sure, yeah, let me know what day, whatever. Yes, 100 people, whatever, great. And I forgot all about it. And now since I've been on the Valium, I'm a little squirrely.
Every day is a new surprise.
As far as like what I remember, what I don't remember. And I literally get a text saying, hey, what time are you guys coming on Tuesday? And I was like, where are we going on Tuesday? And hey, you remember you said you were going to do this. And it's like, I literally dragged myself through Camp Evans on last Saturday. And I was relieved because I thought that was it until August 3rd with Steve from Ghost Hunters. So I was relieved that I made it. And holy crap, was I not ready for this. So opposite the camera, everything is charging on the table in the corner behind you. Everything.
Hey, fam.
And we're going to be with a bunch of younger people tomorrow at the university for 3 hours or whatever, doing whatever. And it's just like, man, really? I'm like charging the stuff and I'm like arguing with myself. Like, yes. I don't want to be doing this. But I hate that I have to do this.
But
I mean, I'm going to have fun.
But for full disclosure here, as he's saying this, literally 10 minutes before saying, getting set up to do a live, he's in there experimenting of what he's going to do as well. You don't have an off button. It does not exist.
Do you think when the greats, like, Leonardo da Vinci, when you think when they started to paint, they just said, I'm going to wing this one. I'm just going to draw a couple of stick figures and a sun and this, I don't care. No, they didn't. It doesn't work that way.
You're crazy.
It doesn't work that way.
No. You guys said about the look on my face. First of all, I knew John talks, I just never know like when things are getting cemented, but he told me that there were stuff coming up and that a lot of people were emailing him that wanted us to do stuff. But I didn't know until he sat down, what, a couple days ago? He starts reading off all of the libraries and the different stuff that we're committed to. And yeah, my jaw kind of dropped because I didn't expect that. It was surprising.
And yet I go to this person with every single
Not
one,
that you
and they
didn't.
say, well,
Not
yes,
that.
we should go
Not-
to South Jersey because
not
we don't
that.
ever go to South Jersey. Yes,
Oh
we
no,
should
that's
go there
different. That's
because
the
we
meeting
don't
we
do
just
that.
had.
And
That
it's
was the
like,
meeting we just had. And so here's my theory on this. He says, "Oh yes, 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 yes,
I can
yes,
blame
yes,
it on
yes,
the
yes,
drugs.
yes." You can blame it on whatever you want to.
You
It
have a
doesn't make
level head. You should
it
be
makes
talking
no
me out of it.
yeah, like you give me credit for a level head. It makes no difference what you're on, whatever. I would like to do something in South Jersey, so I'm gung ho for it. And this place is very historical, and I'm excited just to see if there's something there.
By the way,
So that's my drive.
that couple has never popped up on our feed, but again, the ones that came from California that went to South Jersey, they said they were going to Pine Barrens.
Yeah, we don't even know if they made it home.
We haven't heard from them at all on our feed. I told them not to go, but they did, and that was we never heard from them again. It's going to be a Blair Witch, but no, I mean, you know,
He's the star and I'm the rock. That's the division there, Christopher.
I mean, we are going to go tomorrow, and we're going to have a good time, and we're going to do what we always do, and we're going to hopefully make an impression on these younger folks, and maybe teach them a little something, and hopefully they have an experience or two, and hopefully they enjoy it. I mean, that's what it's all about, right?
I was going to say something cheeky, but I'm not going to.
Right? Isn't that what it's all about?
Yes.
I keep telling myself that's what it's all.
That's exactly what it's about.
But yes.
On an upward. Hurrah.
So no, we didn't know about we did know about Tuesday, but we forgot all about. I usually put things right on my phone calendar, but I didn't. And man, was I like, oh, damn. And I got, like I said, everything's behind me that I have to pack up in the cases, and we got to load up, and it's an hour and a half from us to get to the college. So, and then they want to start earlier. I hope you guys aren't watching, but if you are, usually we start at night when it's dark. They want to start earlier because they have to finish earlier. And, you know, doing the paranormal stuff during the day when the sun's out is just not the same. It's just really, the vibe is so different, you know? So much better being in the dark, you know?
I do.
For me, it is anyway.
I know.
Enjoy it thoroughly. But anyway, so we're doing that. So tomorrow we'll be exhausted, and we'll go up there, we'll do that. And then Wednesday, Jawan Mass from Ghost Brothers will be here with us doing an interview, and
first time with us too.
Yeah, paranormal
so that's gonna
discussion.
Be interesting.
So it was great that he offered to do it, and that he wanted to do it so soon. I thought it was going to be like one of those, we'll do it then. He's like, no, I'm free Tuesday or Wednesday. What nights do you want to do it? And we were like, well, let's do it Wednesday. So he'll never really talked to Jawan. I never really had a conversation with him. Again, we ran into him a few times at the convention. Never really got to pick his brain about how he got started, what his beliefs are, and all that other stuff. So be watching Wednesday. Any questions you guys have, you know, we'll be watching them in the chat. We'll be happy to ask him. John's a good dude, man. I got to tell you, after the One Expo, and I'll never forget this because not many people would do this. After the One Expo, everybody got together somewhere, and we were kind of hanging out. And Jawan literally said, I'm buying pizza for everyone. And when I say everyone, I mean 50 people. And he did. And it was like the coolest thing ever because he didn't have to do it. And then he did it, and he was just like, here, you guys want some more?
He's just a nice guy.
He was just a really, really
very
good guy.
Down to earth.
So
very down to earth.
I'm looking forward to speaking with him and picking his brain and finding out again his side of the whole story when it comes to how he got started, what his interest in the paranormal is, and all that other stuff. You know, I like more of that stuff than I do. You're never gonna hear me ever get into like the drama stuff with people, like when we're interviewing them and talking about them. There is drama on every level in this field. You guys see what's going on with the Conjuring House and all that other stuff. and there's stuff that happens all over, everywhere. It's just the way it is. It's human nature. It's in all walks of life. But like there we've had people on who we know have had issues with other people, and no sense in bringing that up. That when again, Jason Hawes, when we interviewed him twice, I flat out said to him, can I even mention Grant and what happened there? And Jason Hawes, to his credit, said, John, you ask me whatever you want to ask me. And he said, I don't want pre-questions. I don't want nothing. You ask me what I've got nothing to hide. And that's like, if someone says that to you, some people would ambush them and ask them really stuff that is going to get them people. Viral. Yeah, but for me, it was like, what's the question everybody wanted to know? What happened between those two guys? And he answered it. Okay. His side of the story, he answered it. Grant's, I don't know if Grant ever said anything either way, but the Wraith Chaser guys, they had issues, and we had Mike on, we had Chris on, and we said, hey, what happened? Hey, look, things happen. We were, together for a while, went our separate ways. That was that. No drama, no bad mouth, and no mother blanking anybody. Just, hey, life. We did that. That's over. Now we're doing this. That's the way it should be. I'm afraid when we start setting a precedent, I say the word wrong. Precedent. How do I say precedent? Precedent. What? I keep saying president. Precedent. Of just attacking. I'm not one of those people that's going to do that. I'll make a million subtle remarks about some people out there who I know are watching me. You know who you are. Listen. But will I come out and ever name a name and say this person's this, that person's that? All you need to remember, I'll never do that. Negative draws negative, positive draws positive. I live by that motto 100%. 100%. Well said. And I believe that if you immerse yourself in the negative, and I don't mean that you're a negative person. I mean, if you go looking for it and you keep reading it and you keep soaking it in, that will seep into you. You cannot help that from seeping in if you're exposing yourself to it all the time. But if you surround yourself with more positive and you're around more positive people, then you're going to be a more positive person, and you can keep yourself up. When it's like being closed in a house and it's raining outside and you never go out and you enjoy the sun. At first it's okay, but then sooner or later cabin fever catches up with you. It starts to absorb. You start to get morose. You start to get depressed, and it actually overtakes you. I think that that's what happens when you immerse yourself and you expose yourself to negativity all the time. It will take over without you realizing it. You will start to become more negative. You will start repeating the negative stuff. And then and then you're going to become the very thing that you want to avoid. So again, these are the people who, when I won't mention who or what, things were going on, I would literally say to the people around me who are part of our group or friends or whatever, and they would tell me things about other people who, there were issues with, who I won't get into, and they would say, did you see this, what they said about you? Did you see this post? Did you see this on their page? And I would say to these people, I don't go looking for it. I don't have anything to do with that or what they do. So if I don't go looking for it, I don't want you to come to me with it, because I'm purposely cutting that out of my life. So I don't need people bringing it to me, and again, I won't get into details and specifics. And this is going back a ways. This is about something else, but yes, people are going to do what they do. They're going to be where they are. I tend to gravitate to people who kind of show who they are. You know who good people are. You know who the not so good people are. They show themselves. I mean, again, we say this all the time, and again, I'm going to try not to get in trouble. I'm going to pull a Steve Barry here. I'm going to try not to get in trouble. Truth of the matter is, in lots of walks of life, that most of the people who are complaining about the drama are the people who are causing the drama. Fact. Fact. Sorry, fact. So we don't, I don't
Sure, Dan.
get caught up in all that of whatever these people might be doing or who's posting on their social
Not
media
important.
or whatever. It don't matter to me. It really, really doesn't matter to me. Do whatever you're gonna do and whatever. Success to you. And if that's the way you're going, I'm not going that way. Really. That's it. Really, that's how I feel. So anyway, back to the paranormal stuff. Um, so it was great that Jawan wanted to join us. Jawan was really surprised on how fast that October 11th event sold out. I mean, that was like,
Yeah, it wasn't his comment. So how many tickets you sell?
yeah,
It sold out.
He literally,
He's
him
like,
and I are
"What?"
texting back and forth, and he literally said to me, you know, so how's that event doing? And I said, sold out in 3 days. And he was just like, what? I said, it sold out in 3 days. And it did. So he was really impressed with that. And we want, again, all the way around, good experience for him, coming to hang out with us, working with us, being in one of our places. Good experience for everyone who attends, who gets what they want. What do you want out of that event? That's what always gets me about different events that people go to. I'm in the field, so my expectations are different than others. There are people who are completely happy with the fact that they're just going to be alongside of Jason Hawes, you know, on an investigation. Whether you get to just hang out and talk to him for 15, 20 minutes, maybe he's in a room with you for 5 minutes talking about investigating and doing an EVP session. And I would probably be one of those people. I'll be honest with you, because there are a lot of people out there that I want to be investigate with and just hang out and talk with. I told you, some of my best experiences in the expo,
see you, Gina,
10 years has been the opportunity to sit and have real conversations with people like Jason, Grant, Dakota, Steve, Dave. I mean, I could go down the list. Adam. I mean, I really could go down. Chip. I could go down the list. You know, these are the things I take away and go, man, I'll remember that. That was worth it. Yeah. So I always wonder from the people attending what their objective is. To go there to meet these guys and hang out with them, to really investigate with them, all the above. You know, I can never put myself in that headspace, because I'm all about trying to give people the best experience, you know, for whatever we do and,
yeah,
you know, whatever we're part of. That's me, you know.
It's always been you.
Yeah. So
You're not going to change. That's who you are. It's what you're about.
Yes.
Oh, some other thing sold out. She's talking to Dan.
Yeah, I mean, I said this the other day on our social media page on Twitter. I mean Twitter, on Facebook and Instagram. So very fortunate that, you know, I didn't even mention August because August was sold out, but so very fortunate that August, September, October, and half of November is sold out. I mean, blown away, especially when we throw like another event in here and there. I mean, it blows me away that we're able to. I look at those months when I'm doing the scheduling, and I know everything else is spaced out every couple of weeks, you know, not so busy in July and August because we want to enjoy the summer a little bit. But I know come September and October and now November, we have to sell a lot of tickets. We do. We have to sell a lot of tickets, and it scares the crap out of me every year because
you don't take it for granted.
I take nothing for granted. And to see all those events, one after the other, after the other, after the other, I mean, it makes me feel so good to see that. And now, literally, after we get off of here, I'm going to have a call with the woman from Burlington Prison, and she wants us to do an event November 16th, I believe. So I know you guys keep asking about the prison. When are we going back to the prison? When are we going back to the prison? So we're going to have a conversation with her right after we get off this live. And it looks like November 16th. That's my birthday week, man. My birthday's the 14th.
We've done it on mine.
Well, you're second in command. It's the top. The top is what we celebrate. You know,
The Rock just
yes.
needs to sit there and hold it
Yes.
down. I get it.
So, I mean, yes, it does look like the Burlington prison is going to happen November 16th.
So, if you want to go to the prison,
if you want to email me now,
get a head start before he announces it.
New Jersey Paranormal at yahoo.com. Make sure it's New Jersey Paranormal, all one word, at yahoo.com. They'll be the same, $55 a person, limited to 24 people. But that'll be the one and probably only time that we do the prison this year.
Yeah.
Next year's going to be a little different. Again, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but we're really planning on mixing things up a little bit next year. Supporting the people we do, but doing some other stuff too. So, but yes, if you want to come to the one and only investigation of the Burlington prison with New Jersey Paranormal, November 17th, and that I assume will be from 7 to 11. I'll literally confirm that in the next hour. I'm sure it looks like that's going to happen. So, so that was the one thing that I wasn't planning on adding to.
The 16th is Saturday. You're right.
To the craziness. Then on top of that, we should know soon enough if there's going to be, heaven help us, another October event in South Jersey.
I'm excited for this one if it works out.
Now, nothing is set in stone yet. We're not sure. It's going to be probably October 12th, the day after the Juwan event, but it'll be a new location. We're going to be involved in something that happens before the ghost hunt, so I don't want to spoil too much, but we're working out the details of this one. So not a definite yet, but man, yes, it looks like.
I'm excited about this one because
me too.
It's in the South.
Really excited.
So it's South Jersey, and the fact is that this place is steeped in so much history.
And it's never been investigated by any paranormal.
Never. And there's so much there. So I can't wait for us to go in and do an investigation and see what is going to happen.
Yeah, so
that's the kicker.
You'll be the first group of people, if you come to that have investigated this building with us, which will be cool. So, and as much as I was planning on not so much. And then, November 30th is the last Centenary University of the year. That's it. No more after November 30th. That's the last one we're doing there.
We got permission to do a new area that you just started doing that is very active at the Centenary College. You did it one time and you had so much activity.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The library.
I've done it twice.
Oh, you've done it twice? Why did I only think once?
Because you don't pay attention.
Obviously not. But that place is like really, really active. I really enjoyed everything that came out of there.
But yeah, that'll be the last one. November 30th will be the last event in Jersey. I swear. That's it. Then we end things with the Jubilation. Satori was on before. I don't know if Satori's watching now, but Waynesboro, no. Waynesboro, the first weekend of December for the big jubilation, the big celebration downtown Gettysburg. Their Christmas thing is holiday thing, I should say, is awesome. You will enjoy it. Hot chocolate. There's kids everywhere. There's Christmas stuff. There's camels you can ride. All that good
they
stuff.
They had real reindeer there last year.
Yeah, it's just such a great time. And we, again,
sculpting.
I'm not just trying to sell this for the sake of selling this event, because we've sold probably half of it already. And we're not really even talking about it that much. But you will have so much fun that weekend with us, with Cody and Satori, with Pam and Steve, and being around Waynesboro and being in Get It. You will have a great time. Okay.
We went downtown last year, and it started out with just 4, which I think the party ended up becoming over 20. And we ended up stopping and taking a picture on the, what is that, the Lincoln Hotel? That's right there in the middle of town.
With the
reindeers that
were people dressed in
they were dressed as reindeers. Your Blitzen, Donner, all of those, and they were singing. There were a chorus. It was choir that was out there singing. It was fun. We had a good time.
You're gonna have a great time because the ghost hunt's fun.
And some of us dress for it.
The ghost hunt's fun, especially Cody Satori brings some of their haunted objects.
It'll be Veronica's first time.
And we had a good time with that. I did in the basement anyway. I had a great time in the basement with those objects. But then afterwards, you're done. We go upstairs. We get the pizza. People are drinking a little bit here and there. We're on the porch. We're in the living room, and we're just having such a great time, enjoying ourselves, celebrating the year before, all the holidays start.
Is that our last event for the year?
Yes,
completely?
I am.
You swear?
There no more.
100%.
No more. No more.
I swear.
No mas.
That volume fog wears off.
No mas.
Find out you made a commitment elsewhere.
No,
unless
hang you. Unless Donna wants to do a Christmas past event, because we haven't done anything there this year. Unless she wants to, I don't see how she could, but if she wanted to, I would do it.
Right.
But no. We are going to do another auction at the Creeper Gallery. That's coming up in September, the first one she's doing. Okay. So she's doing well there, man. I'm really happy to see how well Donna's doing at the new location. And you know what's funny, Donna, if you're watching, I don't know if you are watching or not, but I keep tabs on that Creeper Gallery Facebook page and Instagram, and I am noticing every damn haunted object is a doll.
Doll.
Every,
and she
it's
told
either
him.
Shoes or dolls.
She reprimanded him, saying, "You
And
need to lay off the dolls. You keep doing dolls."
And all I saw were dolls. So
and
guess
good
what?
ones.
John is doing what John wants to do. That's how that works. Because you put all, I was gonna say you dangle all those dolls in front of me, but that didn't sound right. But you have those haunted dolls. That's where I'm going. But looking forward to, again, everything that we're doing starting this weekend with the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. It's going to be such an awesome weekend. The weather is going to be perfect, like 85 degrees. It's going to be perfect to go. And what I love about their convention, on top of the fact that it supports so many great causes, and it's organized by dear friends of ours who do it for all the right reasons. And again, you go there, you're there just to have a good time and hang out with the people, their special guests that are there, check out all the great vendors. They got the axe throwing, they got all the stuff going on. But then after that, because it's summer, it's still daylight. Like the thing ends at 6. You've got 2.5 hours of daylight left. Go get yourself something to eat and then get on that battlefield. Go to Sasha's Bridge. Go to Spangler's Creek.
There's so much you could do.
Man, have yourself a Devil's Den. Go out there and enjoy that stuff with your meters and stuff, and just
Spangler's
go crazy.
Is a cool one.
You know?
Oh,
there's
lots of places to go.
That's what I would do. I mean, just have fun doing your own little paranormal
How many years
stuff.
have we been doing? How many meets? I'll speak in a minute. How many years have we been going and doing this? And I swear, every time we go, we find a new spot. We find something new that we missed. Every time we go, we end up in somewhere else.
Because people tell you about stuff. That's another cool thing about that place. You run into different people, they tell you about different spot. I don't really go to Sausage Bridge because everybody's there. I mean, and that place is like, I hear it even at night you go there, there's a ton of people there. So
Yeah, they do tours there.
I don't really want to go to where like everybody
you're gonna run
is.
into a bunch of.
But again, when you go with certain people and they're, how do I word this?
Carefully.
When they're not uh, in tune to their environment and their surroundings, and it's dark and there's hardly any light from any light sources, and you're the only car parked in a parking lot by an area where people are saying it's haunted, and one of the people wanders off on their own away from you, and a pickup truck comes pulling in very, 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 very slow, stops for a minute, and then parks and leaves the car running. And what do you see? You see this other person not walking towards you,
going right towards the truck.
Going towards the truck and in that direction.
Because I'm going to get a jump on him before us.
This is what I deal with out there.
So, you're going to come at me. Yes, I'm coming at you.
I could have easily been killed by a serial killer in that truck.
How many years ago was that? I am literally, never heard the end of it. I am
literally like in the dark with my flashlight going, where is she? I see in the truck and it's just running, which was the weirdest thing. Now it could have been kids, young couple, whatever.
You never know what was that.
And I'm literally with my flashlight, where is she? Where is she? And I'm tracking her, waiting her for a turn to come towards me. No, beeline, right to where the truck is. And I'm like, what is wrong with this person? So I had to go find her.
You knew where it was. I was going to confront who was there. Let him know.
You're not nothing. You were walking like a deer into the lion's den. But anyway, never have a bad time in Gettysburg. Never, ever. Like she said, we have probably been going there. If I had to guess, since we were about 28, maybe, in that wheelhouse somewhere. Yeah. And, you know, that's a lot of years. And again, to want to keep going back there and having a good time.
Love it.
And for us to be able to do that and support our friends, it's even better for us because we go there on our own and we have a good time just hanging out and walking around and doing whatever. But again, going there with all the people that are going to be there this weekend that we know that are friends with, I mean, we're going to be able to sit there and hang out with, you know, Pam and Steve, Bob and Gina, and John Zaffis.
Hey, Heather.
Are going to be right there. And you don't think we're going to be joking and laughing and goofing the whole entire weekend.
Oh, please. That's in a nutshell.
All we're going to be doing.
Do you notice that this is if anybody knows, I'll tell you exactly my mechanism of working. Tangible people and things I will confront and deal with, no matter what the case. But if it's something that's not tangible, like a spirit or ghost, it scares the bejeebies out of me. I'll go the other way. You figured that out, haven't you?
Oh, my sister and I did a ghost tour at the bridge a few years ago. The spirit box said our names. That's cool.
That is cool. Very cool. Both your names too.
Very cool. Yeah, I was watching a video about a person saying that they wanted to know like the history of the building, but they didn't want to hear the paranormal stories. And I understand that perspective. I do. But I also think if you're a paranormal investigator, why wouldn't you want to at least hear some of the claims, even if none of them are true, even if they make them up to part of sell the place, which they can. We've seen it. We've been there. It's happened. Yeah. But why would you just want to hear the history? Because in the paranormal world, in my experience, it's not always someone who died on the property who was quote unquote haunting the property. They could have come from the land. And when I say the land, I mean there could have been a guy who owned the farm and the 10 acres, 20 acres the next town over.
You're right.
And yet he had farms, barns, and people
But
living in different
aspect.
areas, and or Native Americans could have been in that entire area.
But
so
recorded history, and I think people take it as like from start to finish, but recorded history are just glimpses, little
no, it's
tidbits.
important. It's important.
No. Let me finish what I'm trying to say. It's if you were to look into, like, say I pass away and 100 years from now, people will say, well, her history was from A to Z. It's not possible for you to know me from A to Z. You're only going to get glimpses and suggestions of what happened within my life and around me. You'll never get the full picture because you don't live that life. You don't know how many people came in. You don't know everything that happened where I live, the people that were involved, only those things that were made public and widely known. There are many things that happened with people in history that are not known, that might be discovered just by mistake through someone else somewhere else that knew.
No,
there's so much that's missed.
Yeah, but they're saying this more of the like influencing. You're preconditioning people, saying people see shadow figures over there. People heard a child crying over there. People that and again, part of that may be true, but also it may be true that they heard it. It may be true that they saw it. I'll tell you flat out myself. You want to call me a liar? Call me a liar. I saw a shadow figure taller than me at Burlington Prison. I saw it. My own two eyes.
Yeah.
It was in the room where the guy hid who came out and bludgeoned the warden. I saw it clear as day. In one building where we don't work with anymore because they don't allow anything paranormal, on a recorder, I heard a little girl twice say, "Mama, Mama." I heard it. I heard it. And other people have heard that girl in that hallway and told me about it. So part of it could be selling the haunting, but you have to have an open mind and say, hey, this is what the history. Could it apply? Could the little girl be the little girl who died here? And could the man they're hearing be the man who died here, whatever? Or could it be, these people have had real experiences in these different areas at different times? Could be both. It could be none. It could be, but influence. I don't know if it potentially influences you. As I think again, I've been in a building where I drive people crazy because when they start telling me stories like that, we have Andy, the little boy who haunts this bedroom up here, and then we have the woman in yellow who used to be Sally Mae, who lived down the road and ran the grocery store, and then we have the guy who hanged himself in the back room there. And I go, is any of this documented? Well, no. Well, okay. In that case, you're like, okay, it's not 100% factual. They don't know it either. Is it possible it could have happened and just not been documented because it happened so long ago? Sure. But keep that in mind.
And how much, it's kind of like the old, like, I'm sure at this point, a lot of people have played this game where you're all sitting around in a circle and one person whispers something to someone. And then by the time it goes all the way around the circle and comes back to you, that what you whispered becomes something completely different than what you said.
But I'm not even talking about something.
No,
like
that. but this is what I'm saying. Things change.
Well, I'm talking about how
when somebody's telling you stories or saying that this happened, and it's like it's on a perspective of somebody telling you something like, hey, I heard that this and this happened in this house over in this corner in this room, and then somebody says it to someone else. Oh, that's good, but I'm gonna add on a little bit of something else to it, and then it passes on to the next. Oh, that's a really good story, and I'm gonna add a little more.
But again, maybe they are embellishing, but maybe they're not. Just like we go into the mine, we do the ghost tours. Are we embellishing on those stories just to make the tour better?
I'm going by what I'm told.
Great answer. I'm talking about what we experienced there.
Oh no, what we're experiencing, we're telling you what we're experiencing.
I'm going
I
on
thought you were talking
what I
about the
was told.
history.
Well, thank you for our
The
credibility.
history.
There it went. Well, see it. Bye bye
The
credibility.
The history by the miners who work there, the people who have spent their life there. That's what I'm. That's what I meant by I was talking
I'm
about
talking
history.
about when we're telling people what goes on there.
Oh no, we're telling you exactly what happened, what we've experienced ourselves.
That's what I'm
That's
talking about.
credible. Well, you can't just leave that open ended. I'm talking about history.
Well, I'm not. I'm talking about how people may embellish or add on to the things that happen in the building. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, my thing is, we get the stories or the first-hand accounts from the people who are there. You know,
Yep.
Not from other paranormal groups, not from whoever. We get the people that are there, the people that are there all the time. What have you experienced? What have you experienced? You're here. And then tell us about the history. Who could that relate to? How many people died in here? Who was it that died in here? And then when you run into a case like the John Inskeep house, where I'm sure some people have died there through the years, but they don't have those names at the ready because they own that property forever. But there's other people there. And damn if I know who they are. They never told me they're Bob Smith. No. And they live there. No. They just do stuff and answer stuff.
Yeah, that's
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris. Yeah, that's Chris's. But I just think it works both ways. Do I think there are places out there that are that embellish and have built?
I think people get misguided. You don't think so? When they start off with good intentions, and then somehow that because they feel that they've got to make it more sensationalized or whatever, like with TikTok and all of the different stuff.
No, that's not what I was going to say. That's your opinion.
Finish what you're going to say.
No, that's what you feel.
In some cases, I think that your integrity and being true to really getting into finding the truth. If you're in this just to do storytelling and be sensationalized, I think you can get lost in the sauce. But if you are really doing this for the right reasons, you know yourself. If you have integrity and you really are doing this because you want to find out if there's something there and if something's going to answer you back correctly, and give you information and try to get answers as best you can, you are going to stay true and you're going to be honest. You're not going to embellish. If that is your goal, if your goal is to really find out if something's there and really try to communicate with something, you're definitely going to be true to what it is that you're doing. And then there's the other side, that if you're just there for likes, clicks, and watching and talking and sensationalism, you're going to blur those lines and you're not there for the right reasons for doing what you're doing.
Okay.
It's the truth.
Oh, well, sure. I'm saying that you have, let's say you have two scenarios. Mm-hmm. You have, because I do hear people say, tell us about the history. Well, if the history isn't, for lack of a better word, sexy when it comes to what happened in the building, how many people actually died there, the circumstances surrounding that.
Right.
Doesn't mean that there's not spirits there for whatever reason. From somewhere else, like John Zaffis said, spirits attract spirits. From the land, from somewhere around the land, something could have happened. But then you get those who, I don't think some are, I won't call them liars. I don't think they're lying. I think some believe differently. Some believe that you can have other people with abilities set and create the narrative for you. That if, okay, take for example, I'm I'm in the basement of the Barron Art Center, and I've come across a male spirit who I've never spoken to before. Mm-hmm. And I've been there many, 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 many times before. And this person's talking. This person's EVPs. I don't know who it is. I know nobody died in that building. I know for a fact nobody died in that building. But where did they come from? I've encountered other spirits there who I know didn't die in that building. You know, but cemeteries across the street. I don't know what happened on the land with the Quakers before the building was built. Now, if 4 mediums come walking through that building and they say, that person is Harry Smith. Harry Smith was a merchant who was an alcoholic, who, you know, people said that he had, you know, whatever, killed a few women, but he got away with it. And, you know, his body's buried over in that cemetery in an unmarked grave. Okay. Now, another medium kind of hints to the same type of thing. Another medium, well, there's a female spirit here whose name is whatever. She lived on this property. Her husband went away on a hunting trip or whatever, and he died. And she waited every day for him outside the thing until the day she died, a lonely woman. And they say that she's here, mm-hmm. you know, because this is where she used to wait out in the field for him. Now, none of that is documented. There's no chance of that unless you have journals and diaries, which you don't.
Most don't.
That's where you walk the really, really fine line between what you're telling people when they're coming into a location. Now, the way you relay that information is by saying, the history says this, but from what I've experienced, and I say this at everywhere we go, I say this. I've come across a guy in the basement of this building who claims to have done this, this, and this.
Yeah.
I've come across a guy in that building who's a female who said she was abused and something happened to her right here.
Yeah.
But again, there's no documentation for me to prove any of that or back that up.
And the truth of the matter is, something as horrific as that, in most cases, don't get documented.
Yeah, but I'm not basing my findings on intuition or mediumship abilities. I'm basing it on the type of interaction I've had and the voices and the responses that I've gotten. That's the only difference. But can I prove any of what I said is the legit happenings there and 100% show people documented proof in a newspaper clipping, journal? No. That's the weird part of what we do, especially when you get into the really nitty gritty, the older buildings and stuff like that. Because again, we just had a meeting with a few people, and they know for a fact people died in the house. The house dates back to the late 1600s, for crying out loud, you know. But that tree only tracks so far, you know, and it's just like, yet people have heard and seen, and there's Hessian soldiers were through there and stuff happened, and it's like,
there's history there a lot.
Yeah, but the shame of it is it's not right there in front of you. You know, that's what part of the enjoyment for me with the haunted objects is. I like having information. I like reading the stuff, but I don't mind at all grabbing a, what do you call that, microscope with a picture of an old guy on it, putting it down and going, hey, who are you?
That was pretty cool.
What are you doing here?
I have to admit, that one was pretty cool.
Why are people saying that they see you, they hear you, that you're doing these things? No one's going to talk to you but me. Talk to me. Show me. Let's try to relate on some level that I can prove that at least you're here. Wouldn't you want that? I would. You know? So it's really, like I said, we were, even when we're meeting with people, we always tell people, you know, that say things like, Well, I believe, but I haven't seen anything. Others have, but I haven't. And the response is, at least you have the open mind. As long as you have an open mind, you know, there's always the possibility of, you never know.
You don't.
You know, it was very interesting, the microscope. And I, again, no information at all. And sometimes those are better than the ones you have a whole 5 pages on.
Those shoes, though, she was a very gentle, kind woman. And what was bizarre, and I've never, ever, ever experienced this before with anything that we've investigated. In the very beginning, when we were doing the Estee method, it was a young woman speaking to me. And then further I got into it, it was an older, gravelly, soft woman's voice that was responding.
And that was the same thing with the picture of little Tommy, who reacted crazy every time
when
we
Tom
mentioned the other Tom. Oh. And I thoroughly enjoyed that because
that one took us by surprise.
Again, too. You want to go down the rabbit hole. Let's go down the rabbit hole. The things happen for a reason. Do we wind up places we should be? Do we see things we should see? Does the road,
it's meant to be fate?
Yeah. Does the road detour us off to the place we should have been? Do we meet the person by accident that we were meant to meet? Predestined, whatever you want to call fate. We were in that shop when Tom was there.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And Tom came right out. We were talking to Donna and Jay, and Tom came right out and said, "What's the story with that picture there? I'm thinking about getting that picture too." And we were like, "Which one?" And Donna's like, "The picture of the little baby. You know, his name's Thomas. You guys haven't done it yet." And I'm like, and Tom's right there, the Tom that we know. I said, "You know what, Tom? We'll do it this weekend. I promise. We'll do it this weekend." Were all those events set in motion for a reason? Know how long that picture's been in there?
The old place. For a very long time.
And I never looked at it.
And
I never
the funny thing is, I'm pretty darn sure we investigated that long time ago.
They were saying we did too.
Long time ago. It just resonates. But it's so funny that Tommy was so very, very drawn to that photo of that child. It was almost like a synergy, a connection.
But that's what I'm saying. I love the movie. We talked about this before. I love the movie Signs because if you ever seen the movie Signs, you know, his wife is killed by a driver. She makes some weird statement, tell Meryl to swing away. If you ever seen the movie, his daughter won't drink the water because it's contaminated. But they're all signs that add up to something big at the end. And I think they say during the course of the movie, you know, there are no signs or no coincidences. I think not always, but I think sometimes in the universe, there is a little intervention that happens. You have Tom, who has an affinity for objects with attachments. You have this little portrait of a boy named Tom or Tommy. I would have never, that wouldn't have been an object that I would have purchased in a million years. You know me, I would have went for.
You've never been drawn to
I'd have went for the cursed box.
You had no interest in that
I'd have went for the voodoo thing.
Yeah, you like the dark.
But he looked at that picture that I've looked at a million times and said, I don't want to do that.
And he felt a strong, deep connection to it.
And I did it because he wanted to. Otherwise, I never would have touched that picture.
And boy, did it surprise you.
And maybe, again, in some weird cosmic way, that Tom connected with the other Tom, and now that Tom is made to be meant to be the caretaker of that photo.
Something you don't believe in. Maybe it's a reincarnation.
Bullshit. Bullshit. I know how I know that. Know how I know that? The baby had hair.
Might have had a previous life connection.
The baby had hair.
Exactly, Patricia.
The baby had hair. That's all I know.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Oi, oi, oi.
I'm kidding, Tommy. I love you, Tommy. But no, again, that's what I like about the paranormal is that you
It
could
could be
go
a connection to an ancestor of before begotten days. You never know.
you could go way down the rabbit hole and make some connections that seem so far fetched out there, but in the grand scheme of however things work, maybe they're not. Maybe they're really not. You know, that's the weird part about it. You know, like again, so we're running late here, but how does a woman like Nancy Weber, and I saw the name there that was close to it, but how does a woman like Nancy Weber, how was she born with an ability to drive around areas where murders have happened and pick up on vibes and help police to find, and it's all based on who she is as a conduit in theory, in my theory, tapping into the energy of whatever tragedy happened to that person, and she is now being influenced.
Yeah.
Boom.
I mean,
That's
look at how they ruled out.
but that is like, boom, crazy.
Look at how she was influenced, where an individual was ruled out, and they 100% ruled him out, saying that he possibly could not be the killer. And she kept saying, "No, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong." And she finally just kept pointing out things until finally it made sense, and they had to go back and they found out that, and he would have gotten away with it if it weren't for her. Literally would have gotten away with the murder if it weren't for her.
No, we didn't talk to Tommy after that. I haven't gotten any feedback from Donna.
Yeah. Your husband had hair once upon a time, Deb.
Again, my father left when I was 2 years old. Didn't leave me with much, but at least he left me with the genetics of having my hair into my 50s, and hopefully a little longer. So I guess I have him to thanks for that. But that's about it. He could have been Elon Musk and left me something better. Anyway, that's it, guys. When we return, it will be Wednesday, 8 p.m.
With Juwan.
right hither with Jawan Mass from Ghost Brothers. That should be a darn good one. So
Get
any
your questions ready.
Yeah, any questions you have, we'll be monitoring the chat. Again, anything you want to know, you know us. We're gonna go down the gambit, of everything and anything, starting from the beginning to what he's doing now. And but anything you guys want to know, yeah, just put it in the chat and we'll ask him.
Woohoo!
Other than that, we're back at it tomorrow night from Centenary University with a bunch of people.
Have a good night. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And please, in this really crazy time, be kind to each other. It makes all the difference in the world.
And make those plans to get to Gettysburg. Even if you haven't yet, book that damn hotel. Get there this weekend. Come hang out with us.
Where all the positives going to be.
All right, guys. Have a good night.